brake pad replacement on a 2018 Ford Expedition here at Vagabond Builds with James and Sandu, and we're going to be doing a do-it-yourself video, step-by-step tutorial, and we're going to teach you guys how to change your brake pads on the rear end of a 2018 over to 2021 Ford Expedition in this video. If you guys do find yourselves in the market for Ford, Ram, or Chevy diesel trucks, or any diesel trucks in that matter, I got a buddy here from OT Cars. His name is Matthew. If you guys are looking for a truck, this is your guy. You got something to say, Matt?
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a diesel truck here in California, or anywhere in the US, or anywhere in the country really, we got a bunch of diesel trucks. We got from the 80s all the way up to 2022. We got Dodges, Rams, Chevys, ready to go, 4x4 especially. We also have a repair shop on site. So if you want to get any diesel repairs done or auto repairs, we can do that. Check us out, otcarsautosales.com.
And we're going to drop that description or the link in the description below, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this video so we don't waste your guys' time. All right, so step-by-step tutorial how to change your rear brake pads on a 2018 over to 2021 Ford Expedition. Now here the rear end, the first and foremost thing we got to do first is use this jack to pick up this car. Now, I'm going to tell you guys that you guys are going to want to lift the car by its frame or by a location of lift, and I'm going to use the frame, the metal frame, to lift. If we could get the camera in there and show you guys. That's the frame right there. And I'm going to lift it right on that frame, which is the best part to lift it on. And we're going to lift just right a little bit after that tire leaves the floor, because we don't want it too high, because if you don't have a shop and you're doing this at home, you don't want to have to lift that tire all the way up when you're putting it back on. Okay, so we got the car lift. Before we even get under it, we're going to have to put a safety, and this safety is going to stay right there. All right, just in case this car falls, you don't want it to fall on you. So remember, safety first, everybody. Okay, so now another thing I wanted to mention to you is that make sure that the rear parking brake is released. A lot of people do this mistake. I was working on the other side actually, and as many times as I've done this, I still forget little things like, hey, release the rear parking brake, so you guys don't fight the brake caliper while removing that those pads. Okay, so we're going to use a few tools. It's going to be a 7/8 socket. We're going to have a size 13 socket, a pair of pliers, I'm going to show you why, and then a flathead if you don't have a compression tool kit that you can probably rent at your nearest AutoZone, O'Reilly, Advanced Auto Parts, and so forth. And I'm going to show you guys that. Another thing is, this is what the other side looked like, and I'm going to show you guys that. This is the bad side, okay? And then these are the good ones. If you can tell the difference in meat, a whole lot more meat. They say actually to change your brake pad once this kind of goes flat. We're doing it a little bit earlier than necessary, but of course we want to be up on the maintenance. Now, we're going to remove this rear tire with the 7/8 socket. Now you can use a tire iron. We're not using the tire iron. We're just going to use the impact. Now, if you see me banging the socket against something metal, it's because Ford does this kind of cap, kind of a metal cap over the lug nut itself. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think it's a very dumb system. Why couldn't you just not keep the cap on? But again, has some play in it. As I'm using that 7/8 socket, kind of have to use a weird socket size, but it works, okay? Now we're gonna remove that tire, and it opens us up to the area where the brake caliper is at, and we're going to remove two screws. Which screws are those? The size 13 push pin screws, one on top, one on the bottom. And let's go ahead and do that. As you start to remove this screw, you're going to see this opposite nut is going to start turning. So this is what the pliers are for. The reason being is because we don't have a wrench there as thin to hold that nut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it with these pliers. It's not too much force, okay? It doesn't slip on us. Open these pliers up. Just like that. Just going to hold a little bit of pressure as you're turning. There you go. All right, the two size 13 screws. Now, this is just going to be removed, just like that. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put one of those screws back in, actually. And why am I going to do that, you might ask? Because I'm going to compress this compression piston that pushes up against that brake pad by a flathead. So I'm going to need a little bit of contrary force, or just to hold it in place, okay? It's like that, okay. So as I'm kind of holding this is kind of be, I don't have with me the compression kit. What it's going to do is it's going to compress that piston and turn at the same time. And it's going to be clockwise, and you'll see what I'm doing. So you're turning and pushing at the same time. All right, so the piston is going to stop. You can't turn it anymore. That's how you know that you no longer can compress that piston. So we're going to work here with adding the new brake pads, and the way you're going to remove it is just slide it out, just like that. It's going to slide those notches right out of there. Okay. Then we're going to replace these as well, okay? So we got those brand new. What you want to do as you remove those, just like that, pops out. We're going to remove these and then just kind of grease that up. You can buy some of that brake grease that they sell you at the counter for like $1. Okay. It's going to go back on the same exact way. You might have a little bit of hard time pushing this on, but if you're doing it the first time at home, just kind of wiggle it on. So the new pads are going to go on the same way they came off. You're going to have to kind of push this lip back just a bit as you're putting that on. There you go. What happens is you're going to slide this right back on just like that, okay? Nope, I didn't compress that piston. Not enough. Let's go ahead and do it a little bit more. Okay, there it goes. All right, make sure these push pins line up with the hole on that caliper. And make sure those bolts go in very easy. I mean, they're not supposed to go in super hard. You can almost torque them. You could torque them with your hand from the beginning. You're gonna have to use that plier system again. just like that. All right, guys, so we're pretty much done with the brake pad change on the 2018 Ford Explorer. We're gonna go ahead and put that wheel back on. We're gonna torque those lug nuts to spec and then drop the car, and we're pretty much done. So if you guys did like our content, please like and subscribe to our channel here at Vagabond Builds with Sandu. We appreciate you guys, and stay tuned. We have more cool things coming. Thanks, guys.